S&P 500, and of course the Nasdaq 100. Now, we've been talking a lot about the Russell. We've been talking about the ups, the downs, the sideways. But if we look at the action today, we look at the opportunity that continues to be given to us. You cannot take this for granted. We look at the action that happened overnight. We had the demand zone down here. We bounced and we're pushing up. We have a little ascending triangle to end the day. We're showing signs of continuation. Now, if you missed this here on the channel, I always recommend following on Twitter because you get all the charts. I do a lot of this stuff for free as well. So you can see, posted a demand for you. That's what we were looking at. A little bit further this morning, posted an update. You bounced perfectly out of that. We want to at least get over 440 to see continuation, right? 14,400, right? Exactly there. What's the action that we saw going forward? We mount above, we push up, retest, and continue the gains, continue the train to the upside. That's what we want to see. Now, in between this, we have a lot going on. So there's a lot we do need to cover. And I already know everyone's here to me saying, well, Tyler, hey, Tyler, what about the potential head and shoulders? Okay. If you start to drop and you get below 14.25, I believe the head and shoulders is valid. But while we're moving up, making higher lows as we speak as well, in my opinion, there's no reason to short until we get confirmation. As of right now, the trend is still our friend to the upside, okay? Now we go a little bit deeper. We get a little bit more information on what we're looking at here. The Russell, again, Russell was the biggest indicator into today. Risk on in the market. Investors flooding back in some of these riskier names, right? We're seeing this happen. Russell pulls back a little bit today. Money flows back into tech. Surprise, surprise. We look also what happened with the Dow. Again, coming back into that massive range, already bouncing again, showing what it has, left in the tank and wants to break out. Now, ES. I tried to let everyone know. Again, Twitter, I can only say it so many times. This morning, 8:32 a.m., 2 minutes in the market open, I was like, I got to let everyone know. I don't care if you're in Discord. I don't care where you're at. I got to let you know. The bull flag playing out on SPY, right? ES breaking up out of this as we speak, trying to get the last leg over 4,300. Look at that push happening now. You were all the way down here at 426. Now you're at highs almost at 430. Again, opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. You don't want to buy when you're just shooting and breaking out. Buy when the risk and reward is in your favor. Buy when your stops can be very tight because you're buying at support instead of buying when you're trying to break out of a resistance. You want to buy the retest, not the breakout. Everyone says buy the breakout, but what they don't tell you is, what if it goes wrong? What if you start to drop? Your stops get spread out, and that's how you lose in this game. The channel's all about maintaining risk and putting ourselves in situations to win the most money while risking the very least. That's why you don't see me say buy the top, buy the top, buy the top. It's look for the opportunity. That's the name of this week. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. That's what we want to see. Now, I have a lot to cover today, so stay tuned. We have some stocks that we love as well. If you're not following on the channel, not subscribed, I have to ask you to consider doing two things. Liking the video first, because it helps the channel grow. Every single day we're live here at 10:30 a.m. Central, but I also make a video every single day as well here. Consider liking and subscribing. Helps out tons. If you don't get anything out of this, no harm, no foul. Consider unsubscribing, right? I don't want people to be here that just don't want to be here, right? I want to be able to have a relationship with you guys and comment down below, and also, be able to answer those questions that you do comment every single day, right? That's what we love to do here. Also, too, if you want to take that next step into your trading, get around like-minded traders, consider Discord. I'm just going to say that, right? But if you're brand new, we have all the free tools here as well. So just make sure you know that before you go into it, because there's a lot of free tools on the website and on the newsletter and then on Twitter and then here every day in the lives to get you started before you just jump right in. I always recommend learning first before you just dive head in, because you're probably just going to lose in the beginning. I'm just going to tell you right now. Also, too, shout out to the sponsor of the channel, Interactive Brokers. You're always asking, guys, where do we do our winning? How do we get the best fills? It's here. It's Interactive Brokers. I don't get paid a dime if you deposit money into your account. A dime. Zero. Zilch. These guys, we have a flat fee to just be on our channel, but I already use them, so it doesn't even matter. We get like $1.50 for everyone that clicks a link. That's it. That's what we get here. And when we look at the charts, it makes me think to myself, what was going on here? How did we have confidence in what was happening here? We had a strategy. We had a focus. We were able to step up to the plate every day because we have a plan going into every day, right? We have an expectation, a cool off, opportunity. I'm going to keep saying it, opportunity. You can't rush into plays, and when you get a dip, just become extremely fearful. Everyone thought we missed.
I shoot, I miss it. He missed it.
Wow. Crazy.
Psych, I switched it.
But again, we show up day in, day out, because if we do this, we live this, we believe in what we do and the process that lies within here. Okay, so let's jump here. Let's jump here. I personally believe what you need to see here is ES. I think ES is everything here. Going into this week, that's what I said, back, on last Friday, which you pushed above 4,200 and you need to start just breaking above 43. We break above 4,300 and I believe we're off to the races. I'm going to tell you right now. You have these August highs from last year. That's a big level, something we have to be watching. But I believe we are in the process and we're going to start breaking through this. I'm going to tell you right now, because what have we seen over the past few days? And I don't like going over, a lot of these equities when we're talking about the S&P and things, but we have to understand what's happening. There's a rotation happening. That's what we've been talking about, the rotation that's going to be happening in the market that's taking place as we speak. We look at XLF. Despite tech dropping, right, we go to XLK. This is the tech ETF, which is consolidating and looks awful like a bull flag. Just going to tell you right now. What stocks are going up? Finance names. XLF pushing up. Weren't banks in the trenches? Banks, what a recovery we're seeing since the beginning of June, right? What about XLI, industrials? Also, we're getting destroyed for months while tech was only running up. XLI, one of the best recoveries we've seen in months, maybe even years. Fantastic recovery. Better than what we saw in March. Better than, I would argue, what we saw almost, actually last October. What a dream. But we're on that same trajectory, okay? XLI still looks amazing. Industrials, Dow names. Well, what about energy? XLE. Again, another great recovery. Hitting massive levels, trying to break out as well. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing big names like Microsoft getting a little bit of a cool off. But where Microsoft was carrying the market up by itself with Apple and a few other names, we're able to see these names get a little bit of a pullback, creating, again, I can only say it so many times, the opportunity to get back in at previous highs that we have established here. You can clearly see right there, previous highs mounting perfectly. I just edited that just for you right there, right? And you're seeing this across the board. Amazon today, you get a pullback, right? Again, it's the same thing. Opportunity, guys. It's coming in, right? You come back, you're mounting where you were at, and you're just pushing back up. This is what you look for in the market, people. This is what you want. If you're able to have the biggest names that were carrying you drop, and ES is able to stay at highs, if not try to push past highs, what does that tell you about what's happening? You're getting a rotation, and the market is moving healthy. When did it do this last? 2020, 2021, when the market was as healthy, not as healthy, but as strong as ever. I will say that. I'll choose my words wisely there. Okay. Now, again, another sector, XLV, one of the great recovery, was going straight down into the beginning of the month and boom, shot up. This is the story of what's happening. I'm going to tell you when the rotation hits back into tech, because it will, right? Semiconductors, SOXX, right? That consolidation looks like a bull flag, massive level. We talked about where we're at here, right? Look at some of these names. AMD looks very good still. NVIDIA still looks pretty decent, trying to break out, giving you, again, what's the word? Say it with me. The opportunity here. If you miss some of these runs, because we might start seeing it flow back in. Now, we do have the Fed next week, CPI and PPI, but it has to get you excited with how we're moving here. This expectation of a pause, this good news about unemployment numbers. I'm just saying, it looks really good. You had JP Morgan come out with their expectations on inflation, revising down to 3.2% by the end of the year. Again, don't shoot the messenger. Is the market preparing to do something? Is all that volume coming into the market a potential sign of what's happening? Let's look really quickly here at Bookmap. I love looking at Bookmap because it gives you a visual of what's happening here with the money. and where you're seeing the most battle. Now, off rip this morning, if you were in Discord, you were in voice chat specifically, you heard me mention this. You saw at 9:30, you saw a pretty big order come in around 1,500 lots, and then you saw subsequent orders continue to come in for the rest of the day, right? We saw all those micro orders coming in on the icebergs as well yesterday. Remember, we talked heavily about that. That's the cool thing with Bookmap when you look at level 2 data. Level 2 data is one of the most important things. Jay always preaches about it. Bookmap just gives you an easier way to go back and track that data as well. And the link is down below if you want to check them out. But as you can see, you continue to push. You have sellers try to hold you below. You break through. You can see all that liquidity on the heat map. Look what's happening there. We push right into it. We push back down. But then what happens? Buyers position themselves to hold you up once again. And you break back into 4,300. Get a little bit of a retracement. And then you push right back up into the end of the day, showing all the signs of continuation. This is exactly what we want, right? This is exactly the behavior that we want. We see CVD going absolutely through the roof, buyers trying to position themselves. Now, I'm not saying the work is done and you're getting for sure the breakout, but what I'm saying is this is the signs of what you want to see, the beginning of the signs of what you want to see, okay? There we are with ES. Okay, so let's really quickly wrap up some of these indexes before we go into some equities. We want to see the break and hold of 4,300. We get that. We're going to 4,330 roughly. That's going to be the big test. In Q, I believe you just want to continue to see higher lows be established, and we're going to break most likely up into 15,000. Highly likely. Going to tell you that right now. That's what you need to know. RTY, it's already doing it. You had to push above the weekly 200 SMA. You haven't done this in like 3-4 months. Incredible hold. Very similar to what we saw back in January. We know how January went into February. Congratulations, you probably made a lot of money. Again, these are the setups. That's what we love. Now, equities. This is what you came for. Which stocks am I liking? Number one, I think Amazon, one of the best opportunity situations that you're looking for. I think you're clearly, it's one of the easier names right here. You're clearly looking for a test of the 200 SMA on the weekly. We've been loving this since around 110. I think you're going to get the push and the test. XLY specifically is absolutely beautiful. Consumer discretionary. Amazon, Tesla, the biggest names in that sector. Tesla overnight is going crazy up into, I believe, like, what is it at right now? Let me look real quick. I don't want to lie to you. 242. If you don't know, they just inked a deal with GM, and GM is going to be using their charging tools basically for all their EV vehicles going forward. They're going to be adopting that. If you want to know and you want to get more information, we posted that on Twitter. Then of course we mentioned it in Discord. We always mention the plays and everything like that in Discord as well. Now specifically on the day, what did I trade? I'm going to tell you right now. I traded AMD. Right? AMD, we said it wanted 122 at 10 a.m. We went from 120, obviously, into 122. That was very easy. You can actually see right there, quickly into 122. Very easy trade. Going also into the other trade we got into this morning. Going to really quickly see it. Amazon into 125.8 to 126. Going into both of those names, obviously, as you can see. Again, hitting, right to those perfect targets, almost about 20 cents off on Amazon. But AMD quickly and easily got above those highs as well into 122 perfectly. Right. The only trades for me today, Jay also traded NVIDIA, as you could see. I just don't like to speak for Jay. I like him to speak for himself. NVIDIA went crazy. Congratulations there, and you're holding really well. So going in as well, we like Amazon. Amazon, numero uno, right? Based on risk reward and where we're at. Number two, Netflix gets me excited, gets me going, gets me. I close my eyes at night. I have sweet dreams, and I think of Netflix. And I'm not talking about Netflix and chill. Okay, we're past those days. But we look at Netflix, and what I want to talk about here is what's happening on the 200 weekly. We've been talking about this. You are consolidating at this level, a massive level, dare I say, and you look good. You got your first daily close above this level as well, right? This is what we want. This is where we're at. I do believe there's a high possibility we could start inching and working our way up towards the gap of 506 with continuation and a breakout on ES and the Nasdaq. But at the very minimum, my target, it's locally around 460, 458. Next up, Boeing. And I put me in a spaceship, I might fly. Put that in a book, put that in a journal, put that on your desk, look at it every day. You look at Boeing, you've been operating in this rectangle back and forth. But what I will say, the 200 SMA on the weekly, right? Zoom out, people. You have not been above this level since 2020 pre-COVID. Boeing is selling more airplanes than ever. They're getting back above these levels. You have room, in my opinion, up to 231. But I do believe you can continue to break out and get a lot of momentum in this name, especially with what the Dow is doing. Look at the Dow. You've been at this resistance. You are trying to break out. You have a clear pennant forming, and you want to get continuation. You also have an inverse head and shoulders, and you are trying to break back up. This would be a leading name in Dow, and I do absolutely love it. Another one, Costco. You know, Costco. I'm not talking about their glizzies, but we love them. We love them. Great value. Can't deny it. Costco, we're looking here. You can obviously see the downtrend that you were in basically for over a year. This is such. It reminds me of Apple. That's what this reminds me of. And now that you're over 122 or 120, it gets me excited. Gets me very excited, right? I want to mark right there roughly. Let me see, about right there. You can see you're clearly breaking out, pushing. You held 510. You're pushing over. Costco over 520. Chef's kiss. Beautiful action. This is what we love to see. Those are the names I'm liking. And you know, one more. AMD. Let me tell you right now. AMD. You're holding this 117, 118 level like a champ. I believe you're trying to break out of this trend as well. You want to get the push. AMD is one of the undervalued names in the semiconductor sector. I believe semiconductors are gearing up for another leg, another little bit of steam, if you will. Keep them on your radar. I can't believe I almost forgot my boys here. That's what we love. I'll see you tomorrow. Keep killing it. Keep grinding. Comment if you have questions down below, and continue to work. Get 1% better every single day, because that's what you do. You're a grinder. You're a worker. If you want to be and you want to survive in this game, that's how you have to live, and that's how you have to think.